Peace. This is Waz for Waz Words Media back at y'all for another round. And David Benavidez has finally lashed out. David Benavidez rips a hole through the WBC for the corruption that they are also being a part of in the world of boxing. As we know, boxing is very political, and because of these political ties, there's a lot of corruption that takes place. There is a lot of red tape. There's a lot of things that take place that are unfair to certain fighters, such as one, David Benavidez. David Benavidez recently in an interview said that, this is BS. Canelo doesn't want to fight me. He pretty much is saying everything except let's fight, a la Devin Haney. And the fact that he's asking for X amount of money, the fact that the WBC is letting him get away with this situation, David Benavidez simply said it's BS. He was highly upset about the situation. And, it's rightfully so because he has been the number one contender. He has been the mandatory for Canelo Alvarez belt for 3 years. 3 years. Imagine that. Imagine a sanctioning body allowing a champion to continue to avoid his mandatory for 3 years. This is why the WBC stands for We Built Canelo. They are responsible, just with Golden Boy, equally as Golden Boy, for excelling, propelling the launch of Saul Canelo Alvarez's career. The WBC, when Canelo Alvarez fought for the 154-pound title, they made him fight a welterweight in order to become champion. He didn't even have to fight a 154-pound fighter when he won his first ever title through the WBC. He fought a welterweight. And that in and of itself tells you, like, these guys, the guy wasn't even a top 5 ranked fighter. I think he even top 10? But anyway, he fought him to become, and he wasn't even a true junior middleweight. He was a welterweight that was moved up and wasn't even a top 5 ranked fighter. So the WBC has been doing things like this since the inception of Canelo Alvarez's career, and this is just the latest in the theatrics and corruption that the WBC continues in favor of Canelo Alvarez. So David Benavidez practically is saying, like, listen, man, I know what it is. I'm not going to wait. I'm going to 175. They waited me out. They maxed me out at this weight class. I've been waiting here patiently at 168, and they have not given me my opportunity. So yes, this is BS. This is boxing corruption. He blatantly said what BS stands for. And, because David Benavidez, as much as he lets his hands fly, he lets his mouth fly too, man. He was cursing up a storm saying, man, this is BS. This is not right. And he's right. He's absolutely right, man. He's 120% correct on this because look at what they did just now. Jermell Charlo did not defend his title against a mandatory. He gets stripped. Jermall Charlo recently got stripped right now, just like a day or two ago. He got stripped, and they moved Adames, the Dominican boxer, up to the champion at 160. So it's like they stripped Devin Haney. When Devin Haney said that he was going to fight Regis Prograis, they stripped him quickly. Because he said he was going to go up in weight to fight Regis Prograis. Meanwhile, when Canelo went up in weight, they never stripped him when he went up in weight to fight when he went to fight Dimitri Bivol a couple years back. He moved up in weight, and David Benavidez was his mandatory still. And they never stripped him for moving up in weight. So don't come at me with the excuse of, oh, it's because he went up. No. Devin Haney went up in weight to fight Regis Prograis, they stripped him immediately. And all Devin Haney did was defend that title bout after bout after bout, did not duck any mandatories. In fact, his mandatories were ducking him. Ryan Garcia won an eliminator fight against Luke Campbell, which meant the winner was supposed to fight Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia turned that fight down. Wasn't ready for it. Didn't have his, he didn't re-up on his steroids yet. Then you have other fighters such as Teofimo Lopez, who was supposed to, like they did all of this theatrics on DAZN to unify. And then when the time came, his father said, well, why would I fight a Devin Haney when I could get $10 million for Cambosis? So all you started hearing was excuses. But Devin Haney always defended that belt whenever he had to. Period. Canelo, and then they stripped him just like that. Meanwhile, Canelo Alvarez was not defending that WBC crown against his mandatory, which was David Benavidez, for 3 years. And he still holds the WBC title to this day. How is that possible? Jaime Munguia has not fought anybody of substance prior to that fight this past weekend, yet he gets a championship bout. How does that work? Now they talking about Edgar Berlanga? That's part of what David Benavidez brought up. Who has David Berlanga beat in order to beat David Benavidez, in order to get the fight over David Benavidez? Benavidez brought up the fact Canelo says everything. Canelo says, oh, I'm coming in 25 pounds heavier, that he wants more money. Who have I beaten? I've beaten Andre Durrell, former champion. I beat Caleb Plant, former champion. And I beat undefeated two-division champion Demetrius Andrade. Look at all the accolades that David Benavidez is bringing as of late, and they still continue to use whatever excuse. Oh, 25 pounds. Oh, I want more money. Anything he can say except sign the contract so we can fight in September, because he's already eyeing a fight against Berlanga. This is sickening, man. And I hope David Benavidez gets the justice he's calling out for. He made that public. So for a reason, he wants this to get back to the ears of the WBC so they can finally force Canelo to either vacate that title or force him to fight Benavidez come September for Mexican Independence Day weekend. We shall see what they're gonna do, but don't expect this thing to be cleared up by September, because again, WBC, we built Canelo. They're going to find a loophole and just guide him right through it. I'm Wise for Wise Words Media. Peace.